Good morning. Welcome everybody to another live real estate investing with Tarek. I'm going to give it a couple seconds here while people start hopping on today's training. So if you guys are out there watching right now, I'd love to know where everybody's from. Right now, I'm sitting here in Newport Beach, California. It is a beautiful day here, especially after the last couple of weeks. We've had like 8,000 feet of snow, which never happens. And Heather's parents are actually snowed in up right now up in Big Bear for like the last, I don't know, week and a half. They can't even leave their house. So it's wild here in California right now. But today we're going to be talking about driving for dollars. And when it comes to real estate investing, there are so many ways to generate leads. There are so many ways to get deals. And really, it falls into two categories. One, you put in the work to find these deals, or two, you spend money in marketing to get the phone to ring so you can get those deals. And a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they just don't have the marketing budget. And myself, when I first started flipping houses, I had no marketing budget. So all of my deals came from cold calling, door knocking, driving for dollars, leaving handwritten letters. These are all the ways that I would organically get deals. And the only cost to driving for dollars is obviously your car and your gas. But if you have the ability to do that, there's a huge opportunity. But here's the trick: if you're going to be driving for dollars, you're not going to go out one time, drive for 2 hours, and go land a deal. It just doesn't work like that. So if you want to drive for dollars, you need to commit to, 3 to 4 hours a day, or if whatever amount of time you have is 2 hours all you have, then go for 2 hours. If it's 1 hour, go for 1 hour, because something is better than nothing. But this is something you want to do every single day. So every single day, if I were you and you want to become a real estate investor, this is what I would do. Pick a neighborhood wherever you're looking to flip houses or wholesale houses. And it's simple as this: get in your car and start driving those neighborhoods. And look for houses that look a little bit beat up. Look for houses that look dilapidated. You can look for overgrown yards. You can look for broken up driveways. You can look for dry rot. You could look for damage to the siding, old windows, messy lawns. There's all these different things you can do. And here's what you do. So if you're driving down the street and you see a house that looks like it might have some potential, don't just keep driving. This is where you actually get out of your car, you walk to the front door, you knock on it, and when they answer, you simply say, "Hi, my name is Tarek. I'm a local real estate investor. I was just stopping by to ask you, do you have any interest in selling the house?" 99% of the time, they're going to say no. But that's totally okay, because we're looking for that 1%. But what does that mean? That means you need to ask a lot of people if they're interested in selling the house, which means you're going to have to drive a lot of neighborhoods, which means you're going to have to knock on a lot of doors. Here's another thing. Most of the time, people aren't home. So if you knock on the door, it's the middle of the day, nobody's home. I want you to go to Staples or somewhere and get some post-it notes and just write your name, of course. "Hi, this is what I would write. Hi, my name's Tarek. I'm interested in buying your house for cash. If you're interested in selling, give me a call." As simple as that. Take the post-it note, stick it on the front door. So this is one proven strategy to get you real estate deals. Okay, literally, this is just one of so many strategies. But if you got in your car every day, if you drove neighborhoods every day, if you looked for ugly houses every day, and you knocked on the doors of ugly houses every day, and you left post-it notes on those doors every day, you're gonna get deals. The thing is, most people, they might do it once, they might do it twice, they might do it 5 times and say, "Oh, it doesn't work." I'm telling you, go spend 500 hours driving for dollars. Log it in, 500 hours. And I'm pretty darn confident that if you spend $500 driving for dollars, you're going to get some deals, okay? So I'm a big fan of driving for dollars. So any questions so far? Hey, good morning, Alicia. That's my 4:30 a.m. military student, homeschooled student. Oh, is that Lady Carter? Good morning, Lady Carter, another homeschooled student. I hope you guys had fun last night on the training. It was really good. And I loved talking about, the importance of energy and being in good health when you're an entrepreneur. So I really enjoyed the segment on the second half about fitness and diet and how supplements can really give you that energy you need to go out there and drive for dollars and knock on all these doors. Okay. So good morning, good morning. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any questions on driving for dollars. John Kelly, soon to be student here. John, let's go, buddy. I'd love to have you. I'm your coach, man. You can ask the other homeschooled students. I'm on every Wednesday answering your questions. I'm your guys' biggest fan. Listen, I want all of you to go from where you are to where I am, because I'm telling you, when I was 20 years old, a coach, he changed my life. He gave me direction. He showed me the way. And I always said, a dream of mine is to help as many people as humanly possible find success through real estate. So speaking of finding success through real estate, you guys, I don't know if you've seen the comment section, the Flipping Summit is posted. So check this out. We're throwing the biggest homeschooled live event we've ever done. It's called the Flipping Summit. It's April 28th and 29th in Scottsdale, Arizona. The speakers, it's going to be myself, of course. You're going to have my beautiful wife, Heather. But on top of me and Heather speaking and teaching at this event, we're going to have Jamil Jamji from Keighley. We're going to have Pace Morby and also Marion Romaine from the TV show Selling Sunset on Netflix. And then outside of that group, we also have a very, very special guest. It's one of my best friends who's the CEO and founder of multiple publicly traded companies. So you do not want to miss this. So if you want, like seriously, if you really want to be a real estate investor, there is nothing, I'm telling you, nothing as powerful as being in the room of a live event. The energy, the excitement, the coaching, the connections, the relationships you're going to make, the networking you're going to do, the other students you're going to meet. The beautiful thing about homeschool is we're a community. Well, what does a community mean? We're all here to help each other. So like if you are serious about changing your life through real estate, you have to go to this event. And if you're not serious about it, that means you're not going to the event. That's how much I believe in this, because the only reason I got to where I got is because at 20 years old, I got a flyer in my box at my real estate office about a live event. I showed up to that live event and my life has never been the same since. So you guys, April 28th, 29th, Scottsdale, Arizona. I would love to have you there and get you guys going in real estate. All right, John Kelly, what is a better way to start going to the ugly houses? John, get in your car, start driving around, look for ugly houses, knock on those doors, talk to the homeowners, leave a note if nobody's home, letting them know you want to buy that house. Marianne's been up since 5 a.m. All right, I love it, Marianne. So do you normally wake up at 5 a.m. or is that something new? So last night we were on with all the homeschooled students and I challenged everybody to start waking up 1 hour earlier. One of the big changes I've made in my life recently is I started waking up at about 5 a.m. instead of 6:30 a.m. And that extra hour and a half in the morning, it's given me so much of my time back. It's just so peaceful in the morning. And I used to hate the mornings. I was always been a night person, but at night you have the distractions, right? In the morning, it's dark out, it's peaceful, there's calm in the world, and you can really think and focus about what you want to do and where you want to go. So I'm a huge believer in waking up early now, and also getting out there first thing in the morning, go for a 30-minute walk. Go outside, listen to a podcast, listen to a training, get exercise while you're educating yourself. I'm not telling you to go run a marathon. I'm just saying to go for a nice little walk. All right. So we did some driving for dollars talk. It's like I said, you guys, it's not rocket science. This stuff's simple. It's just about doing the work. How do you drive for dollars? You get in your car, drive neighborhoods, look for junky houses, knock on the door, and leave post-it notes that you want to buy the house. So any other questions we got? Oh, here's one from Cheryl. When door knocking, would you ever offer to rent back to the owner? If it was something they needed, absolutely. And if it was something they could afford, absolutely. All right. Alicia, I will be taking the 18-hour drive from Kansas City to the Flipping Summit. All right, I love it. That is going to be one heck of a road trip. Alicia, when we're there, you make sure you come talk to me. All right, sorry guys, I'm scrolling through these comments. They're coming in fast. Okay. I see Kathleen on there. Elizabeth, how do you protect yourself when flipping from a downturn in the economy? Ooh, that's a good question. So there's really one proven way to really protect yourself, and that's by not flipping the house. That's by wholesaling the house. Wholesaling the house is just assigning the contract to a different investor and taking a fee. And the reason there's less risk is because you're not buying any real estate, you're not taking any loans, and you're not fixing up any houses. So let me give you an example. Let's just say Tarek El Moussa, he's out there, he spends a month driving for dollars every day, generating leads. He finally gets a homeowner that says, hey, yeah, I want to sell my house. You look at the property, you run the comps, and you find that there's a very similar house up the street that just sold, remodeled by a flipper, just sold for 500,000. The house that you knocked on that the seller wants to sell, so let's just say it needs $100,000 in work. So in this case, you might go to the homeowner and say, okay, well, here's an offer for your house for 300,000. And if the seller says, yes, I will accept 300,000, you're going to put an offer together. And in that offer for the buyer, you're going to put, here's an example, the buyer to be Tarek El Moussa and or assignee. When I add and or assignee, that means that I can assign that contract to someone else. So once I have that contract signed, that's my lottery ticket. I got a contract with my name on it, and I have a contract that says I can assign it. From there, I need to find a fix and flip investor that wants the house. So I'll take that house and I might take it to a fix and flip investor and say, hey, I got this incredible deal for 325,000. Are you interested? They run the numbers with the resale at 500. They're going to say, yeah, we're interested. So at that point, the buyer buys the house off the seller. The seller sells it for 300. The buyer's buying it for 325. And I would keep the $25,000 difference between the contract price that I signed with the seller and the contract price that I signed with that buyer. And that's wholesale in a nutshell. John Kelly, what is the average time it takes to make a wholesale deal from the time the owner agrees to sell to making the deal with the investor? It can go as fast as a week. Yeah, so typically wholesale deals are faster and they usually get done 2 to 4 weeks. And that's why I like wholesale. It's a great way to make some immediate cash. And listen, you have all these people out there talking about how it takes all this time to make money in real estate and blah, blah, blah. I'm against that. I've always made money fast because I go right for the deal. So like, John, if you know nothing about real estate at all and you just get out there and you start driving for dollars 12 hours a day, you're going to get deals. It's just basic math. Like you talk to enough people that own enough junky houses, you're going to generate leads and you're going to get deals. That's it. Like literally, if all you did was drive for dollars, you would be a real estate investor. Okay, Marianne, question. Going to start door knocking and driving for dollars. Worried what happens if I find that, uh-oh, my screen's moving. Worried what happens if I find that first deal and I have no financial backing. What are the steps? Okay, so if you don't have financial backing, you can wholesale that house, which I just gave you an example earlier. Another thing you can do if you're a homeschooled student and you want to partner with me on the deal, and if I like the deal, I'll actually flip that deal with you. So we would partner on the deal. We would each put up half the capital and we would walk you through the entire process. So that is one of the big benefits of working over with our homeschooled community. All right, I'm getting to these questions. Elizabeth, also part of your program includes coaching for Airbnbs. Do you own any Airbnbs personally? Yes, I do. I do own Airbnbs, and the last couple of years they've been doing really, really well. The seminar in Scottsdale, how much does it cost? I don't know. Click the link. I'm pretty sure it's under 500. It's not very expensive. I think it's under 500. Felina, what's the best way to meet those investors to wholesale to? Reach out to them directly. So in Homeschooled, we teach you how to identify investors in your market. And once you identify those investors in your market, you have to skip trace them, which means you need to find their phone numbers. We teach you how to do that. Once you get their phone numbers, you just call them. Say, hey, Bob, I noticed that you flipped 127 Main Street 4 months ago. I have a deal for you at 126 Main Street. Are you interested? A lot of times, they're going to say yes. Simple as that, you guys. There's a process to this business, and I want to show you and teach you the steps. So forget about all this craziness, right? It's steps, A, B, C, D. That's it. I mean, here, let's just talk about the steps. Step one, well, you got to find the house. So all the work goes into looking for deals. Now you got a deal. Well, now what do you do? Right? Well, you got to get your contract signed. So now you got your contract signed. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to flip it or do you want to wholesale it? Okay, so once you make that decision, you know how to finish up that deal. If you want to flip it, you hire a contractor and you flip it. If you want to wholesale it, you find other investors and you sell it to them. Real simple stuff, you guys. When I'm wholesaling, I'm just using my standard California wholesale contract when I'm doing them in California. And then in the student center for homeschooled, we do have contracts. Chris, how can we partner on a deal in Atlanta, Georgia? I'm in your homeschooled class. So if you want to partner on a deal, you can email Adam at tarikbuysHouses.com. Again, that's Adam at tarikbuysHouses.com. Hey, I got a question for everyone. Do we have any accredited investors on today? Do you guys know if you're an accredited investor? All right, let me see if I can find some more questions here. Andrew, how often should I follow up with a lead who wasn't interested to sell? It's good to follow up on those. It's good to follow up on those who still aren't interested. No, if they're not interested in selling, don't follow up. If they express, maybe they're interested, follow up for like 2 months, but don't waste your time. I'm a big believer in always going to look for new leads and new deals, because what happens is if you start chasing leads that will never turn into a deal, you're never going to get deals because all your time is being wasted. Time is our most valuable asset. So you want to find new people and talk about new opportunities and try to find new deals. Kathleen, I reached out to a roofer as the number was listed on the permit from a house flip, and he put me in touch with the largest investor in the area. Fantastic. You see what Kathleen did there? She thought outside the box. Talk to contractors. Hey, do you know any fix and flip investors? How do you find contractors? There's so many ways. You can find them online. You can drive neighborhoods. Kathleen, that is fantastic. And Kathleen is one of our incredible homeschooled students. An accredited investor is someone that has made income of $200,000 or more over the last 2 years and is expected to do the same in the following year, and or has a net worth of $1 million or more outside their primary residence. If it's a joint filing, instead of 200, the income qualification is 300. Oh, we got Ginny on today. What's up, Ginny? How's it going? Ginny, I don't know if you're coming to the Flipping Summit, but I would love to see you. But I think we have an investor tour coming up with TEM Capital on the self-storage, so I'm going to be at that one. I can't wait to meet you. John Kelly, do you have to get the contract signed in person or DocuSign? Whichever you and the owner prefer. We do a lot of deals out of state where we never see the house and we never meet the owners. That's parallel markets right there. That's where you can find out if you are in fact accredited. Oh, we got Taylor's volleyball coach on, Johnny, today. But I don't know if you guys know this, but Johnny made me his assistant coach twice. And he made me go chase balls. So it was a fun day. Kathleen is right. Drive for dumpsters, new construction sites, builder associations. And when I talk about the community, she's a homeschooled student. So within the homeschooled community, when we're live, we're all helping each other, you guys. It's all about helping each other. That's the best way to get as far as possible, because trying to do something on your own without experience and knowledge is very difficult. But if you take the power of community and you put that behind you, you can go so much farther than you ever imagined. Shane, my first week into working with a developer in LA on his acquisitions team, cold calling and driving for dollars. That's it. That's exactly what he's teaching you. But, instead of doing it for him, do it for yourself. That's where you make the money. Crystal, I'm also in your homeschooled program. What exactly are you looking for in a property to flip? Okay, so there's two things you're looking for, right? So one is a junky house. So that's one thing, is a house that needs to be fixed up. Two, it's about the owner of a house. So you're looking for a motivated seller. So in one category, you're looking for a junky house where they might need to sell it. Another category, maybe you have a house that doesn't need much work, but they're very motivated to sell fast and take a cash offer. So maybe they're going through financial issues, maybe they're going through divorce, maybe they got a job transfer, maybe they're moving out of state. So really, deals come from junky houses and motivated sellers. Glenda, yes, well, the property would go through escrow. So once you get the contract signed and you assigned it, the person you assign it to goes in escrow and buys it off that seller. Catherine, when you first started, did you know about these avenues you're pursuing now, like the self-storage and Airbnb, or did you focus on house flipping because you became more experienced? Well, no, here's the thing. If you try to do, you know, five different things when you're starting, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to pick one thing, okay, and focus 100% of your time on that one thing. And once that one thing is working, then you can move to a second thing. And once that second thing is working, then you can move to a third thing. So if I were brand new in real estate today, I know exactly what I would do. I would start off, let's say I had no money, I would start off in today's market wholesaling. Once I did some wholesale deals and I built my capital base, from there, I would start buying, fixing, and flipping. Okay? Once I made money buying, fixing, and flipping, I would start buying rental properties. And once I start building my rental property portfolio, if I wanted to, I would take the jump into commercial real estate. Alicia Durden, can you elaborate on Eddie's experience through pending sales? Yeah, so one of our students, his name is Eddie over at Homeschool. So this is what I told them to do. I told them to pick a market and look at every single property that was in escrow, which means it's not available for sale and it's not sold. It's in escrow, which is a status on Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever it is. So when it's in escrow, 99% of buyers, they're not looking at it anymore because it's under contract, it's unavailable, which means there's an opportunity, because in today's market, there are a ton of buyers and a ton of investors that are going into deals, getting cold feet and backing out. So what I had Eddie do was look through all the pending properties that were in escrow and call the ones that looked like they needed a little bit of work, and he picked up 2 deals doing it because they were falling out. I'll give you guys a story. The first day I ever did this, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago, we were calling on pendings. It was a new sales rep, and he called on a house in Newport Beach. It showed that it was pending. The agent said, we're actually falling out of escrow as we speak. Immediately that same day, we wrote the offer, went back into escrow, and that flip, I think, if I recall, made over $300,000 just from cold calling a pending property. Yes, developers are looking for wholesale buys. Okay. Rose, what is the first step to buy a wholesale? Well, I don't prefer you buy a wholesale. I prefer you wholesale to a buyer. Because when you're buying a wholesale property, you're paying a premium. So if you want to get deals, I prefer going directly to the source, especially in today's market. All right, everybody. So I think we're going to wrap it up with that, but that's it. Real estate investing, it's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery. It's a really, really simple business. So I'm going to lay it out in a nutshell. This is the most important thing you need to know. The more people you approach, the more contacts you're going to make. The more contacts you're going to make, the more leads you're going to generate. The more leads you're going to generate, the more deals you're going to get. The more deals you get that are good, the more money you're going to make. 5 things. Okay? You guys can do this. I'm telling you. I went from delivering pizza to selling houses to flipping houses and being on TV. There is nothing unique or special about what I do. I build habits, I'm driven, and I work my ass off every single day. And if you're one of those people that have what it takes and you're willing to put in the work, you can become more successful in this business than you ever thought possible. So if you guys are ready to take it to that next level, don't forget, click the link in the chat box. We have the live event with Homeschooled April 28th, April 29th, Scottsdale, Arizona. I hope all of you are there. And